All right, it's April 1st. Now we're getting serious. This video is going to separate the men from the boys. Uh, this training mission is for the AGM65 Maverick. And it is complex just to get this set up and fired. And I'm going to do this video in two parts. Uh, because essentially you're doing targeting two separate things. The first target is a building where we have a steer point that's already designated on the building. And the second set of targets are going to be three armored vehicles that we're going to hit at least two of them. So I'm going to divide it into two parts. And I just got done updating DCS to 2.9 something or other, and it's really messed with the lighting, especially inside the cockpit when the sun's behind us. So just gonna have to bear with me about that. But anyway, let's see if there's anything of significance here. Let's see. No, it's just that we're in a different place. We're in Bession. So I'm going to pull up, I think I have it on the kneeboard, a chart that's going to show all of the HOTAS controls and kind of go over the stuff, the buttons we're going to be pressing. And I did make notes, at least for the part 2, because it's going to rely on my memory. So let's see what happens.
Welcome to the A10CII AGM65 Maverick Fundamental Training. This lesson will build on the skills taught in the HOTAS Fundamentals, Lightning TGP, and Precision Guided Munitions training flights. As such, this lesson assumes you are familiar with HOTAS functions and how to find and designate a target. You begin at 8,500 feet MSL, 50 nautical miles northwest of your home airfield, Beslan Air Base. The aircraft is set up for air-to-ground combat. When ready to continue, press the space bar.
All right, so a couple things here. And he's actually got the flight paused. The first target is this building, which has been set up as steer point 1, and so we're flying directly towards the target, and we're 12 miles out. But if you listen to his tutorial and listen to his commands and do his commands, by the time you're supposed to wait for 7.5 miles up here to the left of the speed is where we'll be watching the range. By the time we're ready to do that, we're well within 7.5 miles. We'll be more like 5 miles away. It's too short. So 12 miles is too close. So we're going to have to hit the space bar a couple of times, and when he's actually getting into the tutorial, we're going to come around. We're almost 90 degrees. We'll go to 270. 90 degrees east, we'll head 270 west and get out to like 18 miles and come back around and do the tutorial. And that will give us a little more time when we're ready to actually press the weapon release within the 7.5 mile range. So that's what we're going to do. Here's our weapons. The first one we'll be using is the AGM65G, and we only have one of those. And then for the part 2 of this video, we'll be using the AGM65H to hit we have to successfully hit 2 out of 3 of the targets. So far, I've been very good about hitting the targets. So, let's freeze this track IR a second. Let's see if I got a chart. This is the chart I want. How convenient. Let's see, can we move this? How do we move this? I forget. There's a way to move this. Oh, I know what it is. You gotta do something kind of crazy. You have to kind of get it up here. Like this. And maybe that's good enough. I don't know if there's another way to move this. Anyway. So we're going to be using the TGP for targeting for the first target, and these are the stick commands, and then also we're going to be using the oops, wrong one, throttle HOTAS commands as well. So for the coolie switch, we'll be doing a right long, and that'll make our TGP the A10CII sensor of interest, and we'll be doing China hat forward long to slave all to this current speed. Well, our current speed, which is our steer point, is aiming at this building. So by doing that, our TGP will also be looking right at that building, and then we'll be hitting, pressing, we'll be zooming in, and then we're going to find the actual spot we want to find on the building. And when we get the place we want to target, then we're going to be hitting the then we'll be going back to the stick commands, the TMS forward short. We'll switch from area to point mode for the tracking. TMS forward long will be making that track the current speed, and once we have that, then we move over to the commands for the Maverick. So we'll be doing the coolie hat left long to make the left MFCD as soy, and we'll already have this on the Mav page with the station 3 designated. And then this set of commands we're going to be using identically for the second set of targeting of the armored vehicles, and that is we'll be slewing the Mav on this screen to the speed that we made from the TGP by hitting the China hat forward long. China hat forward long. That's on the stick. Oops. There we go. No. That's right here. China hat forward long. Slave all to speed. Actually, it should have already. We already did that once, but we'll do it again. Slave the Mav to the speed, and then we're going to do force the Mav to correlate with moving the boat switch to the center. We'll move the boat switch to the center, and for the Mav, here's what we'd be doing. Bore sight forced correlation to auto. And then the MAV to ground stabilize, TMS aft short. Then we'll be on the stick TMS aft short for the MAV. You can see right here, ground stabilize. And then, let's see, lock MAV to the target with a TMS forward short. TMS forward short for the MAV. It will track the target right here. We should be able to tell by watching the MAV screen on the left MFCD. And then the last thing we'll be doing is turning our heading towards the target. So there'll be a reticule on the screen for the Maverick, and we'll just be turning towards the target and making sure we're flying towards it. And at 7.5 miles on this range bar up here, we'll be holding down the weapon release button. It should immediately fire this Maverick in part 1 or one of these in part 2. This Maverick in part 1 will fire, and we can see it the whole flight of the Maverick on the TGP, but after a few seconds I think I'll just switch to the where we can actually view, have the view between the MAV and the target using the I have a hot button set up on my stick, but essentially it's Control F6. And right after we fire the Maverick, we're gonna turn to the left quite a bit, 20-30 degrees or so, and put it on autopilot so that we don't lose this view on the TGP because if we fly directly over the target, we'll be masking the TGP. So essentially all those things we're going to repeat for part 2. That's why I wanted to go over this real quick. All right, here we go. Spacebar. There we go.
Bring up the AGM65G display on the left MFCD by first pressing OSB 18 and then pressing OSB 12 MAV. Use Hotas Coolie right long to set the TGP on the right MFCD as soy.
There it is. Yep.
Then set the TGP to steer point 1 with Hotas China Hat aft long.
Aft long.
Finally, set the FLIR display to white hot with Hotas boat switch aft. When you have finished these steps, press the spacebar to continue.
Well, I already knew we were going to do that because it just looks better. Boat switch aft. And then to actually get this view right on there, we can switch from wide to narrow with China Hat forward short, and then we can zoom in with the DMS up button. There we go. And let's hit the space bar to continue.
Using the Hotas controls, zoom in and adjust the TGP view to target the part of the building shown in this image.
That's what I did.
Then use Hotas TMS
go up a little bit.
short to select a point target, and then TMS forward long to make the soy pointer the SPI.
All right.
When you finish this, you are ready for the attack run. Press the spacebar to continue and begin flying.
Okay, so we're on area. TMS forward short, we'll change it to point. TMS forward long will make it the current speed. We should see something change up here. Not really. Anyway, we just made this target on the TGP the SPI. So this is where he's going to have us actually do the run to the target, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hit the space bar, let him talk, but while he's doing it, I'm going to come around to 270 degrees at full speed and get out about 18 miles instead of 12. It just gives me more time. Here we go.
HOTAS
Warning,
fully
autopilot.
left long to make the MAV display, left MFCD, the soy. Then slew the MAV sensor to the speed with HOTAS China hat forward long and zoom in with China hat forward short. Set the Maverick to force correlate with HOTAS boat switch center. Finally, set the MAV seeker to ground stabilize with HOTAS TMS aft short. When you have completed these steps, press the spacebar to continue.
270 degrees. Autopilot.
Warning, autopilot.
Now, let me get out to about, hey. Well, must have hit the button twice. Let's try it again. Okay, that's better. The lighting is horrifically bad. Something happened when I updated the DCS. I'm gonna have to tear into it. Maybe it reset my settings. Luckily I haven't saved. I can recall and see what happens. Anyway, we got to get out to 18 miles. We're at 17, so we're almost there. But anyway, everything he was telling us are the things I just went over with the chart. So we'll just, when we come around, we'll just go ahead and do them again. I've got them written down on a post-it, essentially my little knee board on my left arm of my chair, just below the thrustmaster throttle assembly. Okay, 20 miles. Let's
Warning,
go.
autopilot.
Let's come around to about, that was about 85 degrees was our original heading. But essentially we want to be heading to steer point 1. Slow down a little bit. So our target back in view. 160 degrees. Hundred. 85 or so. There's our target. Boy, this is so whacked out. It reset everything. I gotta retrim here. It's all crazy. Okay. Now, let's do what we're supposed to do here. Get my speed a little lower. Alright. Let's freeze the track IR a second. Let's follow our steps. Left long to make the MAV display the soy. Then we're going to China hat forward long. Forward long. And zoom in with China hat forward short. That's all we get to zoom in on that. Then force correlate with the boat switch to the sender. did that. And then ground stabilize with TMS aft short. I don't know if we're going to actually see anything. Aft short. Didn't see anything happen. Okay, we did that, so let's go to
Watch
the next
the
step.
dynamic launch zone, DLZ. At about 7.5 nautical mile range,
Warning,
lock the
autopilot.
Maverick by pressing HOTAS TMS forward short. The MAV crosshairs should close on the target zone.
Okay.
Press and hold the weapons release button.
Where are we? It's looking bright out there. What the hell? Where's our... I gotta get this going. Oops, sorry. Where's our range bar? How many miles is it? Can't see it. Huh? There it is. It just came up. 9 miles. When it gets to 7.5, we need to do the TMS forward short and then hold down the weapon release button. 8. I think we can put it in autopilot. There we go. 7.7, 7.5, TMS forward short. Let's see what this does. There it goes. We're targeted. Now we can hold down the weapon release button.
Rifle. As the
Boom!
Maverick heads towards its target, come left to approximately 040.
Warning,
level the
autopilot.
wings, and re-engage the autopilot. You will have to trim a bit left wing down to compensate for the lost weight of the fired AGM65G. Monitor the strike with the TGP.
Well, we could monitor there, but I'd rather we oops. Here we go.
Good hit, good hit. You are in active pause as you configure the aircraft for the next set of attacks. Bring up the